let's see. Let's go to the polling here. Texas. I wanted to put this one out there. 48% plus 3 Biden in red ass Texas.
Wow.
So now, if Biden just wins Texas, I wanted to put this up because to show how much hinges on Trump holding Texas. If Biden manages to win Texas, this is the map we're looking at. This is a possible map we're looking at. He could lose every swing state if he wins Texas.
Wow.
Look at that. He
Um,
could lose Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, even Georgia, Arizona, Florida. All of them could go. North Carolina could go. And he could,
um,
if he wins Texas, it's still over.
do you think he? I mean, do you think he's going to win Texas though? I
He
don't.
has a
Like I
shot.
think I
It's going to
said.
be within a couple of points. I think it's
I
going to
just
be
think
pretty
that he's
close.
done such a shitty job that it's just hard to. The people who are still with him have like a mental problem, right? It's like they're not. It, it's just he's done such an objectively terrible job that like you are just you're deranged. It's like that's the Trump derangement syndrome, the people who are
Right.
still like supporting him at this point. And like I said, without the events of this year, just without the way that he completely destroyed the economy and left everybody out to dry and fend for themselves with COVID, and the way he's still doing it, like framing everything as a blue state, red state, and
Mm-hmm.
not getting any kind of stimulus passed because it might enrich states that he feels aren't valid, don't deserve it.
So,
That's like psycho shit, man. That's like
yeah.
that's like such a scumbag. Like I don't know how anybody is still.
No.
I mean, I can see people like Ben Shapiro or
Mm-hmm.
whatever who were just like that's their ideology is fuck the poor, But like most people who like aren't
Yeah, I
ideological
was
like that,
yeah.
I can
I was
see.
reading a string of tweets about something like I think it was from UK because they called the person mad, so I figured in the insane sense. So what they brought up this point about was um what should a person do when they're trying to decide between electricity and water, right? And then the guy that they're responding to said, well, they should sell their assets, like sell their pearls and that sort of stuff. You're like, motherfucker.
Who's
That's
got
really what.
pearls to sell?
Yeah, who has pearls to sell? It's the same kind of thing that you were mentioning with Shapiro. Well, the first thing you have to do is sell your stock.
Aquaman?
No, that was the other one. That was good. If we have lowland flooding because of climate change, then you don't think people are
You
just
sell
gonna
your
go and
house
sell
and
their
move.
houses? Sell it to who, Ben? Fucking aqua.
Yeah.
But the young people, Gen Z and younger millennials, they're turning out, bro. It looks like the voting numbers are up, and we know when voting numbers go up, that usually goes and leans more towards the Democrats, while the Republicans try to undercut shit. But those are pretty impressive ass fucking numbers.
Yeah.
To go up
Um,
that high. Uh, Part of it, I think, has to do because I think after how bad Trump has been, I think Hillary's less hated than Biden too.
I mean,
The
that's
the
just like
voting numbers in Texas have gone up too. They're not on that list, but yeah, we've gone up.
but like it's just hard to say if that's you know a surge in voting or if it's just people are early voting because they don't want to go to the polls on election day. You know.
Right. So I mean,
Um,
that's true. It could be either one of those. But I do want to go through some of the RCP averages too. Um,
did you
for
see that thing about the AFL-CIO calling for a general strike?
no, no, no. What was that? What was that about?
They had some thing about if Trump loses and refuses to leave, um, we need to we're going to do a general strike.
So I mean, what do you think about that though? I mean, do you think that it's something that could end up gaining steam?
It's the AFL-CIO, man. That's one of the biggest unions in the country. If they call a
Yeah.
general strike, it'll be a strike for a lot, a lot of workers.
Well,
And
yeah. I mean, but do you think it could extend out to other unions then, since they're so big?
yeah, I mean, it's not just them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
one I've seen most recently. But it's like I think I saw some article where there was like eight or nine, different unions have said that they will. Let's see.
Well, oh, let me go through these polls first. So, all right. So here we go. So Florida got Biden plus 1.5 points. Um, Michigan, there you go. Biden plus 7, or almost 8 points. See, Pennsylvania, Biden is plus 5 points.
Okay.
Freaking
It was
Georgia, Biden is still is plus almost. He's almost up a point in the average. So
in Georgia. That's
yeah, in
crazy.
Georgia, in freaking Georgia. Um, where's another one? Give me a state. You, I think Ohio. I think Trump
What's
is holding on.
Ohio?
Yeah, Trump is up point 0.6 in Ohio. He's holding on to it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna win Ohio.
He probably will. I think. And then but look at this one. This one surprised me a little bit. Iowa. Where's my graph? Well, Biden's up in Iowa on the average.
Um, let's see this.
He's losing ground. I mean, Arizona was another one too that was pretty interesting. Here we go. Arizona. Biden's up 2 points in Arizona.
Let's see. Um,
I think he's up in North Carolina too. Yeah, look at that. Biden won 1.2 points in Arizona. So, what's your assessment by those battleground polls? Because I mean, we look at national polls and Biden's up by a pretty healthy margin. But I mean, it's all about the battleground states. So
yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to win all those states though, right? He just needs to
no,
win
no,
like the ones that he lost last time.
right? He doesn't. But and then again, what we just said, if he if he wins Texas, he doesn't have to win any of those.
Um, yeah, but I think he's gonna win them. I think the polling, I think he's a lot further ahead in like Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania though,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So all right.
I
So
I think he's more likely to win those three than he is to win Texas.
I think so. I think he's more likely to win those others. But again, failing that, if he, I mean, it's just, it's a little bit of a. I mean, it just goes to show how bad it is. Because there's a likely scenario where he can win Texas and all of those states.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean,
yeah, that's not even just a win. That's a complete demolishment. It's horrendous for it's a horrendous referendum on Trump's presidency. By that point, it'd be a historical margin of victory.
um, therefore, now be it resolved that the Western Mass Area Labor Federation, AFL-CIO, stands firmly in opposition to any effort to subvert, distort, misrepresent, or disregard the final outcome of the 2020 presidential elections, and therefore be it finally resolved that the Western Mass Area Labor Federation, AFL-CIO, calls on the Massachusetts state and national offices of the AFL-CIO, all affiliate unions, and all other labor organizations in the United States of America to prepare for and enact a general strike of all working people, if necessary, to ensure a constitutionally mandated peaceful transition of power as a result of the 2020 presidential elections.
Okay, so this is their answer in case Trump doesn't want to leave office.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean,
I mean that's good though. Like they're
yeah,
talking about it. The other stuff
yeah,
in the letter too is also talking about some of the problems. Now here's the Rochester one calls for it. A bunch of the other ones have
so
been doing it. Seattle one. So like,
yeah. I mean, because the question a lot of people have is, what if he doesn't leave? What if he decides he's not going to go? What's going to happen?
uh,
I mean, a lot of us would probably. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that wouldn't mind seeing him get dragged out in handcuffs from the White
I mean,
House. I wouldn't be
um,
hurting. Oh look, I know you're anti, cops and anti, arrest and all that kind of stuff, real.
I mean, it's not against the law though. You know, I don't know what they would be arresting him for. Like,
Vagrancy.
I mean, Trespassing,
Trespassing.
maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
trespassing. How about
Um,
treason?
um, oh, that'd be like fucking sick if he got hanged.
Oh,
Um,
damn, bro, you got dark pretty quick over there.
that's the penalty for treason.
Yep, punishable by death if he. I mean, that would be. I would think that would be the charge if he actually decided to say fuck it, I'm not leaving.
Still don't think that's treason though. I mean, treason is like conspiring with the enemy. So
No,
not really,
I mean treason.
you
I
know.
mean, you would say this that the Confederate States were engaged in treasonous acts against the United States, right? So
Yeah,
it was an insurrection. So I mean, you could say that Trump would be trying to pull some kind of insurrection by not leaving office.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um, I don't think he will though. I mean, like I said,
you
I
think he'll just
think
go peacefully into that good night?
yeah, okay, like we said about the cable news channel. Like if he gets dragged out in handcuffs, he can't really do the cable news channel. You
Right,
know.
right. That's true. I mean, it would put a little bit of a dent in his future plans. A lot of people are still kind of speculating if he's gonna fall under any kind of legal trouble from the stuff that's come up during his presidency, as far as being a co-conspirator alongside Michael Cohen, unindicted co-conspirator. Um, the tax stuff and all this going up in the New York's, was it, and in the New York State side of things. So I don't anticipate anything kind of getting followed through on those fronts. If he was just egotistical enough to think he could just stay in office and be like fuck it, that's probably the only
Yeah,
way I'd expect
there's
shit
definitely
to
going to be
go down.
stuff in court, right? Like if it's
Yeah,
close, they're going to start bringing lawsuits to try to like invalidate mail-in ballots or something. But like it has to be reasonably close, and it can't be like that. Like they can't have like 10 different lawsuits pending. Like that can't be like he can't say like, oh, I'm not leaving office until my lawsuits are done. Like it can't
right.
be 10 different lawsuits. Like if it was one or maybe two, then
And
I
then
feel
they
like
go.
he might go for it. But
Well, okay, so a part of that's gonna enter into it because I mean we saw from Bush and Gore, it's gonna end up with the Supreme Court.
like I said, it has to be it it would
Do
have to be if it was only like one or two states, then yeah, I could see that going to the Supreme Court because the Bush and Gore was just Florida, you know.
right.
If it was just one state and that was the difference, say it was uh, Michigan or something, right, or Florida again. If it was just one state, I could see them pulling it, right, but like he would have to win all those other states where he's behind like 8 or 9 points. So like I think that's the difference. He needs to win at least some of those states in order to have a reasonable complaint to make.
No, well, since we